Graduate! All the friends are here today. Wow, feels like a little reunion. Morning Greg, morning Kyle. We're just getting started with our grounding meditation. So we're sitting up nice and tall, like there's a string pulling you up from the crown of your head. Heart comes up over hips and head over heart. Hands come to rest on the lap, either palms down to ground down or palms up to give and receive energy if you feel you've got a little extra to give today. Eyes can close if that's comfortable, or just lower to a soft gaze. We'll start with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose, shoulders rise up towards the ears, and an audible sigh out the mouth, shoulders drop away. We'll let the breath continue in and out through the nose if that's available. Returning to a natural breath's pace. Let's take a moment here just to arrive. Let go of everything that came before and everything that's to come up after. Just become present to yourself here in this moment. Here in this space. And begin to allow sounds into your awareness. It might be sounds at a distance, cars passing by, or birds singing outside your window. Or the sounds might come from closer. A pet shuffling or the refrigerator running. Allowing all sounds in all part of this moment, this experience. Notice the temperature of the air on your skin. And feel the weight, where your body makes contact with the ground below you. And the weight of your hands on your knees. And just get a general sense of how the body feels today. And we'll scan the body from head down towards toes. Checking in for any places of tightness or sensitivity, any restlessness or fidgeting. And just taking note to work into any of the places that call out for your attention throughout your movement practice here today. And we'll shift that awareness from the body, Anamaya Kosha, to the energetic level, Pranamaya Kosha. Just noticing energetically where you're at in this moment on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being exhausted, fatigued, ready to crawl into bed. 10 being so full of energy it's hard to sit still. And then notice your breath. No need to change it, just observe inhalations, exhalations, and whatever space in between. And we'll shift that awareness up to the mind, Manomaya Kosha, allowing thoughts and feelings to arise and observing them from a distance. No need to engage, like watching clouds pass in the sky. And just notice, what are the quality of the thoughts today? Do they have a positive or a negative tilt to them? Are they ruminating on the past or attempting to predict the future? Not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. And we'll bring the attention back down to the breath. This time, actively expanding the breath. Every inhale sips in a little more air. And every exhale, let something more go. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose and into the belly. The inhale, belly expands, inflating. Exhales, release belly button in towards spine, deflating. Inhale, fills belly with air, and ribs expand out to the sides. Exhales, release ribs, then belly. Good morning, Mom Furious, welcome in. Inhale, fills belly, ribs, and chest, air filling all the way up to the collarbones. And exhale, releases chest, ribs, belly. Continuing like this, inhaling belly, ribs, chest, exhaling chest, ribs, belly. This 3-part breath, Dirga Pranayama. It's a breathing exercise that helps us build these subtle internal muscles that help us breathe deeper and calm the nervous system out of fight or flight sympathetic mode into rest and digest parasympathetic mode. When your mind wanders, bring it back to the breath. It's 3 parts. The next time you exhale, releasing all effort from the breath. Returning to a natural breath space, we'll bring hands to meet at heart center. Palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra, no space between the fingers and thumbs press into the sternum. Consider here setting an intention or a dedication for your practice. Whatever your reason for showing up to the mat is today, the invitation is just to set it in the positive and affirmative tense. And we'll seal that intention with the sound of Om. You're invited to chant along with me, of course. First, a cleansing breath. Allow your hands to release to your lap, chin drops towards chest, and on an inhale, right ear rolls over towards right shoulder. Exhaling, chin to chest, and left ear towards left shoulder. Good morning, Mom Furious. I'm not easy, doing great. New week, new targets, and motivation. Sounds awesome. No place like home. So loud, huh? So we're just allowing the head to gently rock side to side, just opening up this space around the shoulder and the upper back. I trust the divine timing of the universe. I have boundless energy and an endless flow of creativity. That is a beautiful intention and mindset. Next time the head rolls through center, let's just begin to roll the shoulders forward. Working into the upper back, the space between the shoulder blades, or just gently inviting movement into the body. Change directions, opening up the space in the chest, space around the collarbones. So we're just gently bringing this movement into the body as we're kind of scanning for any points that might call out for our attention today. All right, come to stillness in the shoulders. Let's do some neck rolls, just opening up. So from shoulders down, we stay still. I'm going to wave the neck out here. Chin tucks it down towards chest. Nose reaches down towards the ground below, forward towards the wall in front, up towards the sky above, and back towards the wall behind. And chin tucks back in towards chest to continue that cycle. So we're smoothing out the movement, opening up new spaces in the cervical spine and the neck. This is a really great practice for if you sit at a desk or look down a lot. If you just spend a lot of time like texting or scrolling, drawing or reading. Just want to open up spaces in the neck. Build up some of those supporting muscles. Increase our range of motion. And we'll change directions. This time leading with the chin reaches up, forward, down, and scoop it in. All the while breathing deeply. Awesome. And back to center. Just drop the ear, shoulder to shoulder. Shake it out. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead, reaching tall and out of the waist. And exhale, we'll bend over to the right. Left arm reaches over. Keep the left hip glued to the ground. We're opening up the space between hip and shoulder. Inhale, back up through center. And exhale over to the left. Glad you're doing well, Mom Furious. Definitely hopping into your stream later. Are you streaming today? I feel like I missed you the last couple days. Deep breath into center. And exhale over to the right. So we're just following the breath here. Every exhale is an opportunity to deepen just a bit. And the next time we bend over to the right. Remember, the left hip stays glued to the ground, maybe bending in the right elbow, maybe the elbow comes all the way down to the ground. Let's take a deep breath here, really reaching the arm over. Maybe you can let the arm just drape over the head. Now we're really pressing into the rib cage here, really trying to breathe into the space between my ribs, the intercostal muscles. We'll bring it all the way to the other side. So if your elbow doesn't reach the ground, that's okay. You can keep the arm straight or a little bit bent. So we're pressing into the side body. Have you been to a pool yet? No, they're opening. They just opened the pool at my apartment building, but I haven't been to it yet. You have to like sign up for a time slot and all this stuff. I'm not really about it. But I live just a mile away from the beach, so that's kind of where I'd rather spend my time. One more deep breath here, really pressing into the ribs internally from the inside. Back up through center. We'll take a deep breath in here and exhale to twist. Right hand lands behind you, left hand lands on the knee, chest opens to the side wall. Inhale, back up through center. And exhale, twist left. Following the breath, in to rise. And out to twist. Last time to each side. Have you been, Emmanuel? Is that why you're asking? It's finally summer break by you. And the elbows bend next time you're in center. Hands come to ear height. Let's wave out the hands. We're warming up the wrists, ligaments, tendons, and muscles in the hands. Undo some of that small repetitive movement that we do regularly. Palms look down and fingers wiggle side to side. So once again, we're just playing with the edges of our range of motion. Palms look up towards the sky, fingers spread wide. Really press your fingers back, reaching back like you're trying to get your fingernails to touch your forearm. Yeah, I have. Oh, good. Well, I'm glad you have access to one. And we're just rotating here. So this should actually take some muscle strength here. You'll begin to feel your forearms begin to fatigue. It's like some anti-carpal tunnel, anti-texting and playing video games and writing, or anything else that has your hands like scrunched all day. Undoes that. All right, shake off water, nice and gentle. Let's wake up the lower body. Extend the legs out in front. Unscrunch the toes, roll out the ankles. Change directions. So once again, we're sitting in that pose for like quite a while, like almost like 20 minutes, almost half an hour. So if you're feeling like you have to like move your legs or change the orientation of your feet during that, during those beginning exercises, it's totally normal. Bend your knees, feet come like max distance apart, and just drop the knees side to side here, or just opening up the hips. We're just building up that endurance to be seated cross-legged like that on the floor. And it's a slow progression. It's not, well, it is measurable, but it's not always like a clear line. So how we live the rest of our lives affects our yoga practice, just like our yoga practice, hopefully, or just like our yoga practice affects the rest of our lives. So next time the knees fall over to the right, bring your hands to frame the right knee and press it up to tabletop pose. And you can be on your mat. I just have a Lucy, so I'm just going to be nice and shared today instead of kicking her off. Alright, so hands below shoulders, knees below hips. On an inhale, belly drops, hips and chest rise for cow pose. And exhaling, round in the spine, chin tucks in towards chest for cat pose. Pressing the ground away. Inhaling, belly drops for cow. My hands are pressing down and back. My knees are pressing down and forward like I'm trying to scrunch the floor below me together. And that grip helps me deepen the arch of my spine. Exhaling, as I round into cat pose, my hands press down and forward. My knees press down and back like I'm trying to spread the mat apart. And that grip helps get a deeper rounding in my spine. Connecting this movement to your breath space, the speed of your body informed by the length of your breath. So we slow the breath down to slow the body down. Next, exhale, exhale all the way out through cat pose. We'll release to neutral tabletop pose. I got a puppy on my mat too. Do you? Yes, it's like, they like the grip, I think, and the cushion, and probably it smells like sweat, and that's an added bonus if you're a dog, I feel like. So, we're going to work on some wrist resiliency here, and we're going to turn the palms under. So you can go one at a time. Sometimes they want their own mat for practice. Yes, for practice. I know. I feel like if I rolled out 2 mats, Lucy would still choose mine. And then if your wrist can't take it, we'll turn the other one over as well. So still my shoulders are up over my wrists. So that's going to be step 1. Step 2 is to get your arms straight. So likely to get into this position, your elbows are back. Just straighten them. And then turn the inside of the elbows forward. So it's almost like you're turning a jar. With just your arms are doing that. So see, the point of my elbows is the inside. I straighten and then rotate the arms forward. So you can be here, just working towards getting to that point. So we do lots of wrist resiliency here, and just kind of like wrist reconstruction, if you will. They're often kind of undervalued, but very often used in our modern day life. If you're here and your arms are straight and you still feel you've got a little bit more to stretch, let's just send the hips back a bit. Like very, very slight movements here make a really big difference. We just got one more deep breath here. Bring it back over. Flip the hands one at a time, toes tuck under, and sit the hips back on the heels. You can give your wrists a little bit of a massage here. Just like you're vigorously washing your hands, but it's just your wrists. Then fingers interlace and some wrist flossing, just making figure eights. This is a nice little mental break too when you're feeling yourself like overwhelmed or just stuck at work or studying or whatever it might be. And just stop and do 10 of these in each direction. Release that. And we'll come back to our tabletop pose. Swoosh. That's okay. Alright. We'll step over to the right foot and the left foot, walking the feet to the edges of the mat. Extend the legs straight, head heavy, and then deep squat, bending in the knees. Head is light. So we're going between a forward fold and a deep squat. So it doesn't have to be your deepest fold ever. My legs are so sore right now. So we're just waking the body up to that shape, that movement. No rush to get anywhere. And next time the legs are straight in that forward fold position, you can release the hands from the ground. If you're feeling it all in the legs, just bend your knees a little or even a lot. So you can give the head a nod yes. Give the head a shake no. Grab opposite elbows to create a frame for the head. For ragdoll, just give yourself a wave side to side. Here, we're just using the weight of the head and the shoulders to elongate the space in the spine, give the back a stretch. We're releasing the hands, heel toe the feet in towards center. Big toes come to touch, just a little space between the ankles. And inhale rolls you all the way up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Eyes follow fingertips. And exhale, hands down to heart center, palms pressed together. And the right knee pulls in towards the body. Using just core strength. Deep breath in here. One-legged Tadasana. The exhale, it's a slow motion front kick. When you're as extended as you can get, slowly lower the leg down, hinging from the hip, like a pendulum. As the foot starts to go back, the head comes forward to counterbalance. Coming into our warrior 3, like making the letter T with the body. Right hip stays in alignment with the left, both hips the same distance from the ground. The right hip wants to pop up, we keep it down. Crown of the head reaching towards the wall in front, foot reaching towards the back wall. The hands can stay at heart center. Or press into the top of the left thigh. A little bit more stability, deep breath in here. Exhale, bend in this left knee. And the right foot touches down for a high lunge. It's really not going to move today. Are you really staying? Okay. So, the left knee is bent over the left ankle. The right heel is pressing back. Okay. Left hip's pressing back, right hip's pressing forward. Arms sweep up overhead with a deep breath in. And exhale, let's take a big twist to the left. Left hand reaching back behind you, right hand reaching forward. Inhale brings you back up through center. And exhale, same side, twist left. Inhale through center. Exhale, twist left. We'll hold it here. Might bring hands to heart center back to this prayer position and hook the right elbow with the left knee. So we press this bottom elbow into the knee to help open the chest towards the side wall. This is a deep twist in the spine, and you should also feel a nice stretch here in the left glute. Option to drop the right knee down. Either variation. We've got one more deep breath here. And then like pressing rewind, we'll unhook the elbow, back through high lunge. And exhale, release the hands down to the mat, bringing the front foot. Step in the back foot about 6 inches and drop, and enough so that you can drop the back heel down. So my whole foot's on the ground, foot's about 45-degree angle. And we'll start extending the left leg straight and bent, or straight-ish. It's okay if your leg doesn't get completely straight. We're just deepening the bend and straightening it out. Hands can be down on the ground or up on blocks if you have those available to you. I was never able to find blocks during this whole pandemic at any of like the sports equipment stores around me. They were like always sold out, but we make do. All right, so next time that the leg is bent, knee over ankle, let's press it up. Arms come up overhead. So this is warrior one. With the back leg straight, the back right leg straight, and the left knee bent over the ankle. Hips are still square. So hips and chest are facing the short end of the mat. Deep breath in here. And the exhale, hands release down behind the back. If you have the space to interlace the fingers, do so like you're holding your own hand. Now you can hold a bandana between it, or just bring the hands back behind you. Pulling the shoulder blades together, reaching the arms back, and your fingertips are going to reach the back heel. Deep breath in, chest lifts tall. And then extend the left leg straight, squeezing the muscles so you'll feel the knee actually lift from engaging these left quadricep muscles. We're hinging forward from the hips. So you can come down halfway here and decide if you'd like to release your arms down or keep them interlaced. If they're interlaced and your shoulders have the space to play, you can float them up towards the sky for a nice deep shoulder stretch in this variation of Parsvottanasana pyramid pose. So we're breathing deeply here into the back of the left leg. And bend in the left knee. Pressing your way back up to warrior one, arms reach up overhead. And then just step up the right foot back to the top of the mat. Big toes come to touch. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, fold. Might feel the difference between the left and right leg right now. And inhale rolls you all the way back up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center as the left knee bends and floats in towards the body. So we're just using hip flexor core strength here to pull the knee in. Deep breath in. And then Exhale, slow motion front kick. And you get as extended as you can go, like a pendulum from the hip. That leg comes down. As it floats back behind you, the head comes forward like a seesaw to counterbalance. Making the letter T with your body, this left hip stays squared down, same distance from the ground as the right hip. Crown of the head reaching towards the wall in front. Left foot reaching towards the wall behind. Hands might be at heart center or pressing into that right thigh for stability. One more deep breath here in Virabhadrasana, Warrior 3. It's okay if you're falling up and resetting, beginning again is valuable in itself. We'll bend in the right knee to float the left foot down. You might adjust how you landed, avoiding being on a balance beam. You want some space widthwise between your feet. Right knee over right ankle, right hip pulls back, left hip presses forward, so both hips are the same distance to the short end of the mat. Inhaling, arms sweep up overhead, and exhale is a high twist to the right. Right hand reaches back behind you, left hand reaches forward, chest opens towards the side wall. Inhale back through center, and exhale, twist same side, twisting right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. We hold it here and the breath continues. Hands come to heart center, and then left elbow hooks with right knee. Press into that bottom elbow to open the chest even more towards the side wall. Option to release the back knee down to the mat. Either variation is just fine. Just still feel a deep stretch in that right glute and spine. Breathing fully, even in the contortion of the twist. And then like pressing rewind, lift that back knee if it's down, lift the elbow, back through high lunge, and exhale releases the hands down to frame that front foot like a runner's lunge. We'll step the back foot in, just enough so that the heel can touch down to the ground and the foot's at a 45-degree angle. Again, bend and extend this front right leg. There's a little dynamic movement here. There's no real right way to do this. You're just waking this leg up to that straight or straight-ish positioning. And the next time the knee is bent over the ankle, press into the front foot to come up to your Warrior 1. So the front knee is bent, knee over the ankle, and the left leg is straight, pressing into the pinky side edge of that foot. Hips are square to the short end of the mat, so they're the same distance to that end of the mat. Arms can come up overhead, deep breath in. And exhale, release the arms down behind you, fingers interlace. You want to change the interlace of the hands. So say naturally your right finger is on top. Take your left index finger and bring it on top instead. So goofy grip or non-dominant hand grip should feel a little bit awkward. So just by doing that, we're opening up some new pathways in the brain. So every time, whatever your dominant hand is, probably that's how you turn the lights on and open the doors, and just switching that around can be really good for your brain. So we're reaching or pulling the shoulders back, chest presses forward, and then you reach the knuckles back and up behind you. Deep breath in here. Extend the right leg long. Squeeze the muscles of that leg. Feel the knee lift as you hinge forward from the hips. working on building that endurance in the leg, that engagement. When you get halfway, you can decide what's best for you. You might release the hands for a bit more stability, or you can let yourself fold over that front straight or straight-ish leg. Give a little micro bend in it if that feels better. Or reach the hands up and overhead to give the shoulders a stretch. A couple deep breaths here in our Parsvottanasana pyramid pose. And let the hands come down to the hips, bend in the right knee, and bring it back up to warrior one. Step the left foot up to meet the right. Nice. Back up to the top of the mat. Big toes come to touch. Inhale, arms sweep up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift, hands on shins. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale brings you all the way back up to stand. Arms sweep up when you get there. And exhale, hands to heart center. Nice. It's time to face one another and just bring a little shake to the body. So, just shaking out the arms and the legs. We'll come into our lymphatic shake, lifting and dropping the heels with bent knees to create a bounce in the body. You can lift and drop the shoulders as well. And just continuing like this, our lymphatic shaking helps to release tension in the body, helps disrupt pain signals in the nervous system. We just get to shake off whatever has been frustrating us. So whatever in that last sequence that was frustrating to you, whether it was the balance or the straightening of the legs, the flexibility, there's plenty of stuff to get hung up on. And it's just the opportunity to let that stuff go. Like the shape that your body is making is just fine. It's literally perfect wherever you're at. Because the goal is never really to make a perfect, equilateral triangle in your pyramid pose, or to get your knees to touch the ground, or anything like that. It's just about feeling the stretch, opening up new patterns of movement, increasing your range of motion, and alleviating pain in the rest of your day. Right? So we can do stuff in our yoga practice that makes our life move, flow smoother and less painfully throughout the rest of our life. And we just have to remember that, because sometimes we get to class and can be really frustrated that our body's not doing what we want it to do. Just remember, this is something that you're doing for your body, not the other way around. It's not a performance or a dance routine. And likely, a lot of the things that we get upset about in life are just that. They're not performances. They're not competitions or races. They're often pretty neutral. Arguably, everything in our life is neutral, but not to get too deep. We'll just keep it here. Yoga is a very neutral thing, and we can just use it to build ourselves up instead of tear ourselves down. Happy International Day of Yoga. Swiss R, you were right, it is. Wow, it's June 21st. You guys, I totally freaking forgot about that. Well, it's not that I forgot, I just didn't know what day it was. But you're right, it is. Oh, let's see. Okay, we got like 10 seconds left. So we just do 3 minutes of lymphatic shaking so that we can just get to the recommended amount of time. And it was kind of arbitrary, but I think some structure is good to have for 3, 2, 1. You are totally right. I completely forgot it was International Day of Yoga. Alright. More on that after breath of joy. Because now we got this heat going, we got the heart rate up a bit. Let's go into our breath of joy. It's a 4-part breath. It's all about letting go. So really go all out about it. It's 3 deep breaths in through the nose. And a big ha out through the mouth. So inhaling, arms sweep up. Inhale the next third of your lung capacity, arms sweep out. Inhale, arms sweep up. And a big ha for the exhale, arms throw back. We got about 10 rounds of this. Swiss, it's so great to have you back. What's it called? It's great to see you here. It's been a minute. All right, a little bend in the knees today. It's been a really great reunion day. We've had some really great people in class today. All right, inhaling, arms up, in, ha, in, ha, in, ha, in, ha. Ha! 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 3 left. If you haven't joined in yet, now's your chance. Ha! Ha! Last one, make it count. Ha! All right, one hand on the belly, one hand on the heart. Feet come nice and wide. Eyes can close. Let's just take a moment here to observe what was created. And just notice anything that showed up for you. What shows up when you let yourself take up space and jiggle and shake and yell and be loud. Or what shows up as resistance keeping you from fully participating. So it's not right or wrong, not good or bad, just something to notice. You can gently blink your eyes open, grab a sip of water, towel off any sweat that might have built up. So how are you? How have you been? All right. So if you're already on the ground, you just stay there. If not, you can come down with me. We'll meet at the back of the mat. Doing great. How about you? Yeah. All right. Arms sweep up overhead. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale to a halfway lift. And exhale, knees bend deep, 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 so deep that we come down to seated. Let the feet come together, the knees splay apart. Give your feet a little bit of a massage here. I've been well. I've been like kind of, what's it called? Just getting used to everything reopening here in California. Like everything's been lifted. So that's kind of like the day I've been waiting for since over a year ago. But now that it's here, I'm like, wow, super overwhelming. So it's good to have these grounding practices like yoga and breath work. Even meditation, just to check back in with myself and be like, alright, well, see what I'm actually ready to participate in or no rush. We all have our own timing. Alright, grabbing onto the ankles, feet, or shins. We'll get nice and tall with a deep breath in, so you can use your arms to pull in and get tall in the spine. And exhale, wave it forward. Belly, chest, head for your Baddha Konasana bound angle pose. So your arms can just reach forward, keep reaching forward to get the nice stretch in your back. Or you can use your hands to grab onto the ankles and elbows press into the knees, pressing the knees down towards the ground, just to get a nice stretch in the hips. Either variation is fine, it's just whatever body part would feel better to stretch out right now, the back or the hips. Shoulders stay melted away from the ears. Just relax. One more deep breath here. Sit back upright. Extend the right leg straight. And the left foot comes to the outside of the right knee. Dona puestas. 1. Hello. Can you do yoga exercises in shorts? Yeah, totally. I mean, you can literally do yoga in anything. They have like naked yoga and like paddleboard yoga and all sorts of yoga. You could literally do it in a snowsuit if you wanted to. Alright. So here we are, seated up nice and tall. The left hand comes to land on the ground behind you. And on an inhale, right arm sweeps up overhead. Exhaling, we're going to hook the elbow with the knee like we did earlier in class. So we're hooking it on the outside as we pull the left shoulder back, opening the chest towards the long side of the mat. Flex through the right foot for this spinal twist. Imagine your spine like a spiral staircase, turning from bottom, lower back, middle back, upper back, and finally the neck can look over that left shoulder. Full breathing here. Bring it back through center. Extend the left leg straight. Ethereal, hello my friend. Yes, anything that's comfortable lets you stretch and have some grip for your feet. Yes, exactly. Right foot comes to the outside of the left knee, and right hand lands on the ground close to your lower back. So we're using that hand on the ground to help our spine stay nice and tall. Flex through the left foot as you inhale, left arm reaches up overhead, and exhale, twisting over to the right. Hook the elbow with the knee. If that's not available to you, you can always hug the knee in, and you're pulling it in instead, and that's just fine too. Lower back twists, middle, upper, and finally the head can even turn to look over the right shoulder. That's just like the icing on the cake. Like that's not the most important part that we're focusing on is the spine between the shoulders and the hips. It's the lumbar spine and the transverse spine. So I'm actively pressing into my leg for leverage. But yeah, don't get too hung up on what you have available to wear for class. Like Ethereal said, whatever is going to be comfortable is going to be great. And yeah, it's really easy to come up with excuses on why not to practice or participate. Where I live is very hot. It makes... Okay. So, yes, got one more deep breath here. Bring it back through center. You can also do yoga during stock shorts, and especially if you're winning. Okay, back through center. Let's bring the knees in towards the chest. Belly presses up against the thighs. I can't see that far, but I feel like there's a joke in there. I'm not even see it. I'm like missing it. Yeah. Actually, I used to teach hot yoga. Actually, it was 105 degrees, like on purpose in the room. And yeah, you get used to it. You get used to it. It sounds crazy. But yeah, 5:30 in the morning, 105 degrees, and I had like my regulars and everything. All right, so here we're squeezing our shoulder blades together. And then just tip it back until the feet come off the mat. We're working towards shins parallel to the ground. For Urdhva Navasana, upward facing boat pose. Here you really want to keep the shoulder blades squeezing in towards one another to avoid rounding. And if that happens, you can always just reset. Option here to release the hands out. When inhale, arms come up overhead. Exhale, arms can come forward and extend the legs just a bit. Inhale to hold. Exhale, extend the legs out a bit more. Inhale to hold. Exhale, opening up almost down to the ground. Last breath in here. And exhale, releasing all the way down, full body stretch. Arms and legs going to the four corners of the mat. Let's hug the knees in towards the chest. Giving yourself a little rock side to side. Alright, releasing the knees down to the mat. Hands are coming down towards to graze the heels. And then we're just going to tuck the hips. So you feel your lower back press into the ground. And then lifting hips, lower back, middle back, upper back for our bridge pose. Shoulders tucked under, fingers might interlace behind the back just as we practiced before. Really tucking the shoulders under, squeeze the glutes to get the hips even higher up. And breathing fully so deep that you can see your belly rise and drop past the tip of your nose. Bandhasana bridge pose. Got one more deep breath here. And unlace the hands and tuck the shoulders and roll down one vertebra at a time. Hips touch down last. And just notice, is there any last wiggle or movement or stretch that your body's asking for? It doesn't have to have a fancy yoga name. It can literally be anything at all. All class we tell our body what to do all day, really. And now we just ask back, is there anything we can do back for it? And often when it answers, it is not in words. So you just kind of got to play around and start building that line of communication with your body. It takes quite a bit of experimentation and just kind of being brave enough to be wrong as you try to interpret the messages your body's sending you. So whatever it might be, just taking the next breath or so to even out. And then we'll come into our Shavasana, corpse pose. Legs come down the length of the mat, feet come at least a foot apart. Legs are so relaxed that the feet naturally splay open. Shoulders tuck under to support the chest. And hands release down by the sides of the body. Palms face open, a symbol, a mudra of receptivity. Allow yourself to receive the full benefits of your effort here today. Head comes neutral, not on top of a pillow or anything like that. And eyes can close if that's comfortable. We're your eyes can stay open, gazing gently at the sky. If this positioning brings pain to your lower back, you can bend in your knees, feet come to the far edges of the mat, knees knock together, then lift and tuck the hips under, gently releasing the hips back down for your broken bridge pose. So this takes no muscle to sustain. I'm just letting the knees knock together for broken bridge as a secondary option for Shavasana. Of course, if you are and have been practicing in a chair, then you just stay right where you are, just like in our beginning meditation. That's just fine. So, Shavasana is all about integration. So we're gonna work on integrating all the effort you've put into class so far into muscle memory, into long-term memory. Just like sleep at the end of your day works to integrate knowledge and experiences into your psyche, into your brain and body. So Shavasana works to integrate your practice into yourself. So we'll start with 3 cleansing breaths. In through the nose and an audible sigh out the mouth. Just allow the breath to continue in and out through the nose if that's available. Invite space between top and bottom teeth as the jaw hangs heavy. Nose and nostrils relax, gently allowing air to pass through. Like waves lapping up to shore. The space between the eyebrows broadens. All the muscles in the forehead relax. Whole head, neck and shoulders relax, sinking heavy and deep into the ground below. Arms and hands rest heavy. Chest, belly, and back relax. Hips, pelvis, and thighs melt away. Lower notice if even for just one moment that inner dialogue quieted. Notice if in your breath there's ease. Notice if in your body the places of tension have found space. And the places of restlessness have found peace. Allow for everything that did and did not happen in class today. And know that in yoga, practice makes practice. Nothing more, nothing less. Gently allow your inhalations to deepen. As fingers begin to wiggle and toes begin to curl. And that feeling of heaviness replaced with a feeling of openness and expansion as head gently rocks side to side. And arms reach up overhead for a full body stretch. Let your knees bend and roll over to whichever side feels natural. Landing in a fetal position, you can put your arm under your head as a pillow. Fully released and fully supported by the ground below you, bring to mind any intention or dedication you set for class today. And if that intention inspires you, take it with you off the mat and into the world. Allow it to affect you and the people around you for the rest of your day. With eyes still closed or gently lowered, press your hands into the ground to come up to a seated position, just like how we started class. Hands come to meet at heart center, palms pressed together in Anjali Mudra. Today we worked on a full body flow. We had lots of twists, so spinal twist specific class with some wrist resiliency, some leg flexibility. The first namaste is said silently to yourself, thanking your body for the effort it put into class. And the second namaste is said out loud to the community that held this space. Namaste. Thank you to everyone who joined me today. I hope you found something that serves you. I hope your day is better off for having spent some time here. As always, I'm available to answer questions, comments, concerns, recommendations, requests. You're on chat, or you can always DM me on Instagram, or even here on Twitch. I'm here on Sundays and Mondays. Thank you, Ethereal Namaste. Thank you for dropping the tips information. Yes, so $5 tip does get you a recording of class. Namaste, M9 Easy. And Namaste Swiss. We had a good group today. It was a good Monday. Really good Monday. Awesome. So, yes, with timestamps to all your favorite parts of class. So if you ever miss class or anything like that, you can always just send a tip my way, and I'll make sure that you have the link to what you missed. Okay, who do we want to... So Mom Fierce did hop in earlier, but Yoga with Jen is on right now, and I'm kind of feeling like we should continue that vibe. Not should, it's not a should. but I just feel like she's on a vibe. No, I did it wrong. Dyslexia. Why am I spelling this wrong? I can't spell my lip. Okay, we can do this. We can do this, guys. We can with. No. Yes. I'm still like in Shavasana in my freaking brain, my friends. I really am. There we go. 8th time's the charm. It is International Yoga Day, guys. So let's what's it called? Let's just keep the yoga train going. Oh, I know. I'm gonna go say hi to Mom later too. What's it called? I do like going to Mom on Mondays because he keeps the energy up, and he's definitely recommend. I just haven't figured out how to turn on the shout out thing on my channel at all, but you know, we're just working on it. We're doing the best we can. But definitely Mom Furious Fitness is somebody to check out, and he's